You know, I was thinking, do I want to do the old video game commentary video about this kind of thing? Because we're going to be screenshotting a lot of this. And I was like, you know what? I feel like, because I think it's probably best for everybody if we just read everything that's in here, let's just go out there and do the Streamlabs. So we are here on lonash.com. This is JURAJ's blog, reading the latest from JURAJ SLAFKOVSKY, who is still doing this blog series on the internet. Actually, I'm kind of surprised. I thought he had stopped doing this a while ago, but he's still going, baby. Let's go. And, of course, the link to this will be in the description below. If you want to go out there, read it at your own time, and read at your own pace, also linked in the description below is the ExpressVPN link. There it is in the top left corner of your screen. You can get 3 free months if you use my affiliate link. And if you are in need of a VPN, go out there and check out Express. It's very good. But let's go out there and dive into JURAJ's blog. The Canadiens forward says he and his teammates have every reason to believe in the playoffs. This is JURAJ SLAFKOVSKY, special contributor at lonash.com from January 9th, 2025. If we can we click on this? No, we can't. We can't click on Slafkovsky's name. This actually is from a few days ago, so I do feel a little bit more comfortable going out there and describing it just word for word verbatim. Plus, it was in French, so I had to translate it via the Google machine, so technically it's not really the original text that's uploaded here. JURAJ SLAFKOVSKY, who was the first overall pick in the 2022 draft by the Canadiens, has agreed to share with NHL.com a monthly inside look at his life as a pro hockey player. For the 3rd year already, he discusses his season on the ice, but also his experiences off the ice. How kind is it that he still does this? That's an absolute baller move. Hello everyone, I'm writing to you for the first time in 2025, so I'm taking this opportunity to wish you a happy new year, although it is a little late. Actually, wait, I can change this, right? I'm at the URL right now. Let's do this. Can we make... Okay, so I tried to go from the French version of NHL.com to the English version, and nothing happened. So we're just going to stay here on the French one, translated this French article into English. For our team, the beginning of 2025 rhymes with happiness. It's great to find ourselves in the picture for a place in the playoffs. We said it before the beginning of the year, but there was hardly anyone who believed in us. We are in the race, but we know very well that there is a long way to go with 42 games left. We don't want to go crazy with it. We keep both feet on the ground. We have to simply focus on our next game. Martin St. Louis often tells us that. There's no point in looking too far ahead. We love that mentality, baby, don't we? Day by day, game by game. Don't say, oh, we gotta win 10 in a row. Say, okay, we just gotta win the next game. We gotta win the next shift. We gotta win the next period. Just take it slow, man, because short-term mindsets often lead to more positive mental attitudes, and thinking about things long-term, trying to focus too far into the future, that could definitely screw with your psyche a little bit. So Martin St. Louis, he's got the juice, he's got the scoop, and he's got the knowledge to pass on to this young Canadiens team. Even though we're in a short-term vision, we feel good. We are winning at a very good pace, and we are having fun. There is a contagious energy. I feel like it's possible to believe in a playoff spot. I like the way we're playing, we're sticking to our game plan, and we're making the plays we practice. That, I think, is the biggest thing that has changed over the past little while. The Habs are actually making plays. And I think that's something that sounds so basic on paper, like, yeah, of course, make plays. But to see it actually be executed in practice, especially with all, like, for example, the D-to-D one-timers with Patrik Laine on the point, those plays... kind of difficult to fully say just do it all the time, but they're doing it all the time. So I think that's pretty great. We're also having success against the good teams in the NHL, not just the weaker teams. In the past, we've sometimes hit a wall against the big teams. That's not the case anymore. To me, that's a good sign. I feel like there has been an awakening in our collective play over the last month. I don't remember the date, December 12th, but we've been playing much better hockey since the 9-2 loss to the Penguins in Montreal. We don't collapse during a game anymore. Before, we could play badly for 20 or 40 minutes. Now, I feel like if we have a slowdown, it lasts for 4 or 5 minutes. We always find a way to get back up after a few bad shifts. You know, I would have to agree there. That 9-2 spanking at the hands of the Pittsburgh Penguins was something, but the Habs rarely exhibit losses like that anymore. On a more personal note, I feel like consistency is an issue for me, Slafkovsky says. I can have a good game and then have 2 bad games. I was horrible against the Blackhawks in Chicago and the Avalanche in Denver, and then I had a good game against the Canucks. Oh yeah, he did have a good game against the Canucks, believe me. I would like to say that I have the answers to better manage my consistency, but I can't. I look for explanations. I can just put my head down and go for it. I have to work even harder. I don't want to blame my young age, at 20 years old, for this inconsistency. There is no excuse. Love that mentality. Especially, he's like a $7 million athlete, right? So, no excuses. Sure, you're 20 years old, but you've got a job to do. I feel like I'll get through this eventually. When you think about it, this is practically just my second season in the NHL. My first year, I missed a lot of games due to a late season injury. Even though I'm looking for confidence, I'm still in a good frame of mind, and victories help me a lot. When we've just won a game, I don't ask myself 100 questions if I've played an average match. I watch videos and I want to improve, but it doesn't drain me as much energy after a defeat. I can sleep. When a match has just finished, there's nothing I can change in that match. It's part of the past. I have to think about the future, and that is it. In the next few weeks, my goal will be to eliminate bad turnovers in a game. I will not become a perfect player. I can have 9 good turnovers and 9 bad turnovers. Next game, I will want to have 12 good turnovers and 6 bad turnovers. And the next game, I will aim for 15 good turnovers and 3 bad turnovers. As I said, there is no perfect player, but we must always chase perfection. Great life advice. Perfect doesn't exist, but we must try to chase it, in order for us to become the best versions of ourselves. Philosophy. I like it. The magic of Lane Hutson. Let's go out there and read this. I have no choice but to tell you about my teammate Lane Hutson. I can make a pretty easy prediction. He's going to be quite the NHL defenseman, as he's already very good. A few weeks ago, a journalist asked me after a big loss if I would pay to watch the Montreal Canadiens. I didn't have much time to think about it. Now I can say that I would pay just to watch Lane. I would like to see him make his saucer passes. He makes his crazy plays. Lane and I were drafted in the same year in 2022. I was the first pick and he was the 67th pick. In my opinion, Lane is a unique talent. He's already changing the image of our team. I like to joke, but I would have drafted him first, and sometimes I would have drafted myself 62nd. That's really funny. Nice sense of humor there for JURAJ SLAFKOVSKY. Obviously, Lane Hutson is proving himself to being a lot more valuable than a traditional 62nd overall pick. Maybe even a first overall caliber guy, who really knows, but it's good to see that JURAJ is acknowledging that. The departure of a good friend. Oh, okay, he talks about the Justin Barron trade. Interesting. A week before Christmas, the Canadiens traded Justin Barron to the Predators. While in the past, the Canadiens traded older players, this time it was a young teammate. I had grown up in the organization with Barron. For the first few days after the trade, I was sad. I realized that I would probably never play with him again. I told myself that I was going to see him for a few dinners on the road, but that was it. I lost a good friend in Barron, but we just added a very good defenseman with more experience in Kersey. Wow, he already has quite an impact on the ice, but also inside the locker room. A good player leaves, but another good player comes in. Was Barron really good? I don't really know, but maybe a good person. That's the reality of hockey. We're lucky to add a piece to our puzzle like Kersey. And so, with this in mind, I want you to let me know your thoughts in the comments section below on JURAJ SLAFKOVSKY's blog. This was a really good one. Maybe it's good because the Canadiens are winning and we're a lot more enticed to reading these things, especially considering it's JURAJ and it's not like one of the top players on the team lately. Like, I mean that very respectfully here, because JURAJ SLAFKOVSKY, I mean, he's not wrong. He has had a few bad games sprinkled in here and there, a few inconsistencies, but for the most part, the Canadiens have been good. So it's really nice to have an illuminating perspective of how the team and the players within the team feel about their latest successes. So let me know your thoughts in the comments section below about JURAJ SLAFKOVSKY's blog from January. Link is going to be in the description if you want to check it out. Also check out ExpressVPN. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.